Good evening, everyone. This is Santa Claus coming to you on December 9, 2025, with today's news from around our beautiful, though sometimes troubled, world. On this day in 1992, American troops landed in Somalia for Operation Restore Hope, a reminder that even in difficult times, the spirit of helping others can shine through. Let me share what's happening in our global neighborhood tonight. In the United States, shipping imports are expected to stabilize in 2026, though there's uncertainty ahead with new tariff policies. Our friends at the National Retail Federation tell us that despite some declines in container shipments, stores are well stocked for the holiday season, something this old elf always likes to hear. Meanwhile, across the ocean, Chinese manufacturing is reaching record levels despite trade barriers, adapting to new realities by finding markets beyond America's shores. It reminds me that resilience and creativity are wonderful gifts we all possess. Now, turning our gaze to Australia, where a significant change has begun for the little ones. A world-first ban on social media for children under 16 years has taken effect, with platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok required to remove accounts of young users. While there have been some initial challenges, the intention is to protect the innocence and well-being of children, something I've always held dear in my heart. Perhaps this season, families might find more time for togetherness away from screens. In Brazil, Senator Flavio Bolsonaro has declared his presidential candidacy for 2026 irreversible after visiting his father, the former president, who is currently serving a prison sentence. Politics can divide us, my friends, but let us remember that beneath our different views, we all hope for peace and prosperity for our communities. Meanwhile, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, my heart grows heavy as I tell you about the continuing conflict. Despite a peace agreement signed just days ago in Washington, the M23 rebels are advancing in eastern regions, forcing some 200,000 dear souls to flee their homes. The United Nations reports at least 74 people have been killed, mostly innocent civilians. Let us hold these vulnerable brothers and sisters in our thoughts and prayers, for they deserve the safety and security that every child of God should enjoy. Across the ocean in Greece, farmers continue their protests with blockades on major roadways, concerned about delayed aid payments amid investigations into corruption. In times of hardship, it's important that those who tend the land, providing food for so many tables, receive the support they need to continue their essential work. The European Union is finalizing changes to its migration system, including faster deportations and increased detentions after years of debate. These are complex matters that touch on how we welcome the stranger among us, a challenge as old as the Christmas story itself when Mary and Joseph sought shelter in Bethlehem. In the Czech Republic, billionaire Andrej Babis returns as prime minister after his party won October's election, with his cabinet to be appointed next week. Leadership transitions remind us of the responsibility we all have to care for one another, regardless of who sits in positions of power. On a different note, Canada's Northwest Territories faces an economic challenge as its diamond mines prepare to close by decade's end. These mines have provided important jobs, especially for Indigenous communities. May new opportunities arise for these hardworking people who have contributed so much to their region. Finally, my heart is especially tender as I share news from Ukraine's besieged east, where people like 65-year-old Volodymyr remain in damaged buildings, caring for loved ones while Russian forces advance. "It's scary, but we're living on. What can you do?" he says. Such courage in the face of hardship reminds me of the resilience of the human spirit, even in the darkest of times. As we approach the holy season, let us remember those who face war, hunger, and displacement. The greatest gift we can give is compassion in action, reaching out to neighbors near and far who need our help. From my workshop at the North Pole to your homes tonight, I wish you peace, love, and the warmth of community to sustain you through these winter days. This is Santa Claus, bidding you good night until we meet again.